So in this video I'm going to be taking a look at the Firebox stove. I've shown this when I first got the stove about over three and a half years ago, and I've used it a handful of times, not as much as I've used the Bushbox stove. But after watching a lot of YouTube this morning, come to realise but the company Firebox stoves actually make a lot more of equipment than I thought they did, and some of the equipment works well with this G2 stove. So I've decided this is going to be the main stove that I use for outdoor cooking or when I'm camping. A friend of mine wants a stove, so I think I'll give him the Bushbox stove. I'm going to stick with the Firebox stove, and like I said, that's because the Firebox company have brought out quite a lot of equipment what goes well with this, and it's won me over just because I can buy additional stuff for this stove. I'm going to get the stove out, I'm going to show you. I think I've used it 20 times maybe, so it's not as had, it's not, say that again, it's not as had, say that again, it's not had as much use as the Bushbox stove, so it should go up a lot quicker and a lot easier. So I'm going to quickly tell you a little bit of background history, how I got the Firebox stove sent out to me. I was buying the cheap Chinese ones off of Amazon, eBay, I think AliExpress as well, and I went through a stage on the channel where I kept buying these cheap Chinese stoves from anywhere between £8 to £20 maybe, and on the website it kept saying Firebox stoves, so I wanted to use that obviously name within my YouTube video titles. And Firebox stove themselves, Steve, he came forward by an email saying the Firebox stove name is patented by him and his family. So he says, would I be kindly enough to go back to them videos and just change the name out Firebox stove, and he'd kindly send me one of his stoves for free. So I thought, why not? It's a USA company. Let's do them a bit of a favour. I went back through the videos, only about 10 of them anyway. I just took the Firebox name out. I think I call it a twig burning stove or something. Like I say, he sent me this kit out. I was very, very grateful. It is the stainless steel one. And I think for him to do that, for me to do that, let's say, and for him to say, you can have one of our stoves, I don't think that's a bad idea. And it came as a complete set like this. Now I have added something to it, and that is a little bit of wire wool, because when I do a bit of cooking on these grills like this one here, next time round I like to give it a bit of a rub down with this wire wool, and I just get any old bits of meat that's probably stuck within all the little slots and stuff. I just basically like to get it all out and give it a nice clean look when I start cooking my next bit of dinner on it. So I keep the wire wool in there as well. Only problem with these sort of stoves, get a lot of soot on your hands. And here is the stove itself. So I did get quite a few bits in it what I was truly grateful for. Like you've already seen, I got the top grill what's slightly larger than the stove. I'll show you that in a bit. Then I got this tray here what goes on the inside, where you can put wood pellets on it if you want, or you can fit your alcohol stove on it if needs be, or you can just move the fire up the stove if you want the heat to get closer to whatever you're cooking. You get an ashtray with it, and then here is the stove. You get these little pegs behind it what slot into place there and there, and it keeps itself together, because you see the pegs do come over the wind block at the top, so it can't open. That won't really make any difference if it did come open at all. Inside there's one tray on this one, and that just slots down. I'm going to drop the ashtray there. That just drops down into position like that. That's where you have your fire on it, and then your little ashtray just slips in like so, like that. Very, very easy to assemble. And this is like your wind block, so when you do put your other little grills on there, let's say, this can come up and stop the wind, so it helps. But I don't really use it as much as you probably can do. But there is a lot of other little features with this stove that I didn't realise when I first got it. So I like to say I've spent a lot of time over the last 2 days on YouTube looking up wood burning stoves, firebox stoves, bushbox stoves, and then like I said earlier, when I found out they bring all this new stuff out what works fantastic with this G2 stove, our mindset, this is going to be what I'm going to do most of the cooking on. Now yeah, I do have my own stove what I designed. I didn't design that stove to use it all the time on the channel. I just messed around at work with a friend at work, and we just, well, it just came out and we started designing one. Then I sold quite a lot for food bank charities, but like I said, them stoves are not going to continue forever. So I don't really like coming to the channel as well saying this is my stove, I'm only using my stove. I like to show people other things as well. I don't want to be biased like that in any way or form. Right, let's show you some bits about this stove. Here you have some little diamond slots, and with the pegs what you can do is you can push it through there. Make sure you get it directly through the center. You can do this. This peg's slightly bent, and you can do it like that. And then on the inside you've got a little platform like that, so you can put an alcohol burner there, and you've got like 3 different settings. Or what you could do is this, sorry for bobbing down all the time. You can use your little tray, what I haven't used yet, you can still, it's still brand new. Just slot it in. Once I can get it in place. I didn't think this warped, but it's got a little bit of warpness, this stove. No, it's me put it in right, it'll probably help. It makes a little shelf. Now this shelf, like I just said, you can have it at different settings. I can have it lower down, or I could have it even higher up at the top. So yeah, you can put your wood pellets on that, or alcohol gel on a little tray, any other source of fuel you can do that with. And there's something else what I really do like about this stove, what I really want to show you is, that tray is going to fall down now, isn't it? Let's get this tray out. Is this idea. Put your little pegs or pot holders, whatever you want to call them, like that. And then you can put a cup on there to boil some water. One thing I realised last time I used this is I had these pegs here. If I can just show you a little bit better. I had them right over like this. And then when I wanted to take them off, this end here was red hot. But you see on the end of the peg, it's got like a little push through bobble part, I don't know what you want to call it. Like a little, it's push through anyway. Bobble part. What am I on about? And what you can do is have this come right over to the end like that. So the metal may not be directly over any flames, but heat travels through metal pretty decent, and stainless steel, the heat will travel. So your pegs will still get warm, but less chance of getting too warm to touch. And then on the top here, you've got, I'll show you this on the floor because it's a lot better. And just before I do go to the floor for the fire part, this side here where all the air vents are to help it have a nice burn, you can also put the pegs through like that, so you can put your alcohol fuel even further down or wider apart. It's entirely up to you. But these pegs have a different play as well with this stove. So let's say your fire's away and you know everything's doing what it needs to do, and you think, oh, I need to move this stove. We'll see how these are folded over like this. All you have to do is this. Use the pegs to move it anywhere you want. It's not always a good idea to move a burning stove around woodland or wherever you are anywhere, but it just shows you can move it around. And then if you want to take the fire, let's say the wind block down, you can use this just to push it down as well, because that's got another little slot in it there, like say if you want to lift it up. But when it's got a fire in it, I recommend you don't really try lifting it or moving it around anyway. It's not the best of ideas. And also, if you're cooking and you want to remove the grill, then it does have the same little slots here where you can just pull your grill off your stove. I'm just going to put these pegs back in here if that's where about I need it for the next part of the video. There's another 2 slots just above the square air vents. You do have a feeding door there. It's a little bit smaller. I would have liked to see that a bit bigger, but there's only 1, 2 feeding doors. I would like that to be probably twice the size of it really. And just to stick the grill on, all you have to do is get it in line, lock it in place just like that. So here I have put the pegs in like I run about. What this is for is, if I want to boil some water, I can just comfortably put it on there like that, and I know it's not going to fall off or know what's going to happen to it. You can put your wind block up if you want. Just say if wind's coming this way, then you can block the wind from hitting the flames, so it directs the heat basically up to where you want it to be. Look, I know full well this stove has been out a lot of years, but like I've said, I've seen a lot of stuff what I'm going to buy what will work well with this stove, and that's going to be sometime in September. So when I do come in September with this new stuff and we're going to start doing some cooking, because what I've seen is fantastic, then I can say, if you want to know a little bit more about this stove, I can always share the video link, and then people can go to this video in time and then come and see exactly what I'm on about, the setting up, how it all works and stuff. I do like the idea, but it's got all these slots, so you can just adjust your pot holders or the shelf, what you can put in it anywhere you want, what suits your needs, let's say. But yeah, it is a multi-fuel. I wonder if you could get a stove what fits in here. That'd be something to look out for on their website, wouldn't it? Now, warping, yeah, it has warped a little bit, but like I say, I've had some fires in it, and I've had fires in it going for a couple of hours. To be fair, I didn't realise I've used it as much as I have, but it still looks brilliant. Right, let's get a fire in it. I can show you these pot holders working away with the cup inside. If you've got a second, do let me know in comments which stove you prefer. Is it the Firebox or the Bushbox? Just out of interest, that's all. Take you a few seconds to leave a comment. And if you want to see what I'm on about, what I'm buying in September, you're not yet subscribed, please do feel free to hit that subscribe button on the channel. So I'm using the pegs now. And the pot fits on perfect just like that. You could do it if you put them there and there, but I think if I put the pegs here and here on the top of the stove, then it'd be a lot wider for my pot. Using the ones below that are a lot better. But what this means now is I've just got to slowly start feeding the stove with more wood. You can use the side doors, you know, the little cutouts what I showed you earlier. Like this. And then as they burn, you just sort of slowly feed them in. That one's probably a little bit too long for it. But yeah, you can do that as well. But myself, I sort of get the enjoyment out of just throwing them in from the sides. Not that one's probably a little bit too big for there. I do think how you feed the stove the fuel, like sticks and stuff, is your way, suits you. You may see people using the little slots or putting longer pieces and feeding them in. You might get people just packing it out with wood. People like myself feed wood in as and when it needs it. It's entirely up to you with it. You know, what suits somebody else might not suit you, sort of thing. So I just say, do it how you like to do it. Don't worry about what other people do with them. It's your stove at the end of the day, innit? So I'm not gonna sit here and talk about the sizes of the stove and the weight of it all and everything like that, because if you go to buy one or you've got one yourself, you'll know all that. It's on the website. I'll try to share a link of the website in the description of this video as well for you. So I'm just feeding it there as we're falling out. Oh, my coffee's going to overflow. I put my fire out. Oh no, that were a disaster. It'll still go. I think there's enough heat in that. Yeah, it's alright. I think it was hot enough to deal with that little bit of water then. Yeah, we've still got a bit of fire. See, this is me. That happened, I'll leave it in and I'll just show you there, but I'm gonna make a coffee with these powdered drinks. This is what you should expect to happen if you don't pay attention. I wonder if I could take these sticks out now. Sticks, they're a bit warm, but I think that water would have cooled them down. So now we'll just use it as a firebox a little bit. So as I was saying, before I put my fire out on my coffee, we all know the weight, the sizes, the measurements of it all. Like I say, if you're going to buy one or you've got one, you would have read all that up by now. Sitting here running through all that, I don't believe any of that stuff is really showing you the stove, is it? Showing the stove, using it is what you really want to see, and seeing a long time reviewing it, how it's working after you've used it a lot. But well, the fire's kicking in now, starting again. Well, my coffee's dying down. That's what I'm thinking about the fire now. Well, my coffee's cooling down. I'm just going to continue to clean my grill a little bit. It's always good to keep them in good condition, innit? Yeah, fire's going now. Now I think this stove lit as quick as it did once I put it out with the coffee, because the amount of airflow to it. So as soon as I put some more of this stuff on, the part of the fire inside what didn't get wet were this corner here. So I think with the amount of airflow coming through all the little slots and the under grill there, your ashtray, there's airflow there. I think that helped the fire keep going. So I think most of the coffee may have dropped through the stove anyway and gone onto the ashtray. But like I say, I think all the air holes and the vent holes, whatever you want to call them, worked fantastically well there. So I'm pretty pleased about that. Have I filled this stove up like I did with the bush box and had a mega fire in it? Yeah, I probably have, but it still seems to work fantastic how it's meant to do. Like, I'm pretty filling it up now. I can't help it, it's like an habit. Get some fire in it, get some fuel in it, let's get going. A couple of years ago, I saw a gentleman on YouTube. He had a stove like this. I'm not sure what stove it was. As soon as he had his fire in it, he poured cold water on it straight away from one of his bottles, and I commented saying, mate, that's not probably the best of ideas to do that. You need to let it cool down gradually. But then again, it goes back to what I've just been saying, is it's your stove, you do what you want with it. Maybe I shouldn't have sent him that message, but he's a long-term subscriber to the channel now, so that message gained a subscriber. Yeah, I'm looking dead forward on. I don't want to say too much, but imagine it like this, especially this little bit of woodland in winter time. I'll have like probably a tent or my bivvy there. I'll have my stove going, and then the things what I'm getting for the stove, or the addition add-ons, let's say, better do cooking at a breeze, it'd be fantastic. Just didn't realise Firebox were bringing so much stuff out, to be truthful with you. Well used. Look at the amount of stains on it. It's been around the bush, do you get it? A woodland bush. Right, I'm going to go, I'm going to enjoy my coffee, and I'll bring you all back in a bit. So you can just see there where most of the coffee went to, and when I said in corner, he didn't put it out. That's the corner there what's shiny. So I'm just going to get some of that wire wool and give that a bit of a clean down. So I'm just cleaning the stove down with some of that wire wool, and there it goes, Firebox Patent Pending USA. Did I tell you it does have this funny shape to it? It's not exactly square. Sort of like goes in at an angle on this side here. There we go, that looks a lot better now, doesn't it? Like I just said a minute ago, I rubbed the stove down outside, makes no difference. It takes like a top layer of soot off, really. Right, so taking the stove down is about as easy as it was putting it up. Pretty straightforward like that. And then use your fire tray, or ash tray, sorry, just to clip it in place there. Let's do it the other way, might be a bit better. There we go, you heard it click then? So it clicks in place. Then get your little pot holders, your sticks, whatever you wish to call them. And just slot them in place. So it packs down quite flat, doesn't it? And then you get your grill tray. Your grill tray is the same length of the stove. Little fire tray is the same width of it, so it all goes together nicely like that. And then you just put it all the way back in its carry bag until your next adventure out with it. Where's that wire wool what I've been using? I've had it a minute ago, here we go. Put that back in the bag as well like that. And everything is away safe for the next time you get the stove out. Like I say, I'm going to get a lot of things to go with this stove, so if you want to see what I'm on about in the videos to come, probably sometime late September-ish, next month actually, we're in August now, yeah, so late September, October, please do consider hitting this subscribe button here. I'll share a video up there with me using this video in a stove in a cooking video, I think. But for now, thanks for watching. I look forward to getting these parts, make these videos, cooking videos, absolutely fantastic. I'll see you next time.